Hello, everyone. It's been a while since we've been in these seats.
Yeah.
But for you, I think it would have just been a week.
Yep.
Which is surprising because, we did a lot in this past week. So we have a lot to share.
Feels like we lived a year.
Yeah.
In the past week.
Yeah. Well, a month. I wouldn't say a year.
Year for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, this guy just popped up here. For those listening, Merlin just fucking sat himself beside me. He's very sweet.
He looks very orange.
Mm-hmm. Oh, first thing, Dane is not with us in today's episode. He said he could make it, but he had to take a phone call like halfway through, so he said, don't worry about it.
Dane is no longer with us.
Yeah, no longer. But we're excited to talk to Dane. We'll have him back next week, and, we'll see what he's been up to.
So, updates.
Yeah, we got a lot of updates. Firstly...
That's the most important one.
I got a fucking shiny gold tooth. And that's the wrong side.
It doesn't look
Right
as
here.
gold in the camera.
Does it look silver or something?
It looks silver.
Yeah. Well, it's gold, trust me.
It's gold.
And it's pretty dark gold.
Yeah.
Fiona's having a reverse sneeze right now. Yeah, they just got back from daycare, boarding, so they're very...
Sleepy.
They're low energy today, which I'm excited about.
Yeah. But yeah, gold tooth. We actually got the phone call right before we left for LA.
Yeah, it was awesome because I thought I was going to have to go around with a what do you call it? A temporary for
Another week
for a
at least.
week or so.
Yeah.
But it was even worse because the temporary had popped off because I was getting into some packaging, so I was like ripping it with my teeth. Very dumb idea. But it like almost instantly popped off. So yeah, don't open things with your teeth if you can help it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, it's super sensitive when it came off. Like whenever some cold air passed over it, I was like, ah.
I know exactly what that feels like.
It sucks.
When you're getting cavities filled and stuff.
You get that
Yeah.
sensation because they need to, make sure all the stuff's out of the way and then all your nerve endings are right there.
Cool air. Well, because like when I was getting my cavities fixed, I had other cavities that weren't like,
Weren't taken care of.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, my teeth were in really bad shape. Just due to like depression, not taking care of my teeth for like 10 years. So like when they were filling my cavities, they would numb the bottom, but my top, I had a bunch of exposed nerves, so the cool air would run over it, and it would fucking hurt.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we might have to take that away from
Merlin.
Mr. Merlin.
Merlin.
He's going to Squeak Town.
He's going to Squeak Town. He got a BarkBox advent calendar. And the
It's
toys,
been lasting him,
it's been lasting him because we got that in November, and he really likes this specific I always think it's like a Minnie Mouse gingerbread cookie. Here, hold on, Marilyn.
Yeah, you could take it away from him and show the audience.
Yeah, here.
Yeah,
That's what it is, and it's got like a little hat. But he loves this thing, and he's had it for. I mean, it's been holding up.
Yeah,
so he's like looking at it like.
Yeah, don't give it back to him.
Nah, I won't give it back to him. Sorry, little liberal.
Okay, so yeah, basically because some of your stuff was unneutered, unnumbed.
Neutered?
Yeah,
unnumbed, and it was exposed.
Yeah.
Because they have to blow the air to keep the area dry while they're working on it. So.
Oh man, this time I had that experience. Oh, it made me so fucking uncomfortable because they didn't want to numb me up in capping the tooth off, basically, because they were just like, it should be a short procedure.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're not going to numb you up because we're going to blow some cold air on your tooth.
Yeah.
But that was
it hurts.
bad.
It hurts really bad.
And they kept doing it, and I was just like, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't suck as bad as like
getting a tattoo.
Yeah, sitting down for fucking 3 hours, 4 hours.
Looking
on
at
a
you right
tattoo.
now and making eye contact with you has made me realize that you're definitely getting either stye or pink eye. Yeah, the one eye is really red. Let me see if you can see it in the. You can't really see it.
Yeah.
But
you can see it.
Oh, no, wait. Look directly at the camera. Yeah, I think they can see it.
I'm getting pink eye.
Yeah. Traveling, man, it really fucks you up.
Something happened.
I guess, that's the other thing. We've most of you guys know we've been in LA. Oh man, it's looking sad.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well.
Ian thought he had a hair in his eye yesterday.
Yesterday I was like, what the fuck? I can feel something in there. I was like, pull my eye apart. I was like looking up, down, and all around, and nothing was coming out. There's nothing there.
No, nothing there. I looked too. I was no Merlin's eye in the.
The only other time I've gotten like pink eye or stye or whatever you want to call it was when I was training for boxing the first time around, and it went away really quickly. I did get like a little solvent,
we did
a little homogeneous solvent.
Yeah.
What's it called? Heterosexual solvent. It's called something.
Yeah, heterosexual
homopathy.
What are you?
Homeopathy.
Oh, homeopathic.
Yeah, it wasn't something that had like crazy drugs in it or anything.
So it's not Western.
It wasn't Western medicine. It was Eastern medicine.
Homeopathic.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing epic in it. There
was no heterosexuality in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the homos made it. That solved it in like a day or something. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I'll go to the Rite Aid.
Probably got it from the boxing gloves or we were touching a lot of shit.
Yeah. I also just didn't like, I don't know, I wasn't taking care of myself on this trip.
Yeah. It was hard to we were really going.
Actually, in fact, I do remember like doing a light spar. It wasn't really even a light spar. It was just me and Alex Wasabi touching each other with the boxing gloves.
You guys were touching each other? And
yeah. Did you see
that?
that? Yep, maybe.
No, I didn't see you guys touching each other.
Yeah, we just sort of impulsively
exploring each other's bodies on the live stream.
Yeah, the bag wasn't working.
Yeah,
particularly well, and so we were like, okay, well, let's make it entertaining in other ways as we're trying to collect donations. By the way, let me give some context. We flew down to LA to do a charity live stream for Creator Clash and Stand Up to Cancer. It was like meant to kind of raise awareness for Stand Up to Cancer, raise money, and also kind of passively promote Creator Clash. We didn't really do too much promoting of Creator Clash, but
no, that was like
Yeah, we did raise $15,000 for Stand Up to Cancer, which was awesome. Some notable donations. We had Autumn Ivy.
Yeah.
She came through. She had said that her grandfather passed, I think, from cancer.
Yeah.
So thank you, Autumn. Autumn's nearby, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, not in Seattle, but like, I don't know, a few hours drive. So.
She's in Cascadia.
Yeah, Cascadia, exactly. Had a couple. Syntac came through. Syntac is an Irish YouTuber who was helped donate during the 24-hour live stream last year.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Very solid human being.
The Irish.
A bunch of others. So
thank you so much, everybody.
And all the fighters that came through was awesome.
No, so many. I was surprised. Like,
they're very sweet, and they just wanted to help in any way they can.
Yeah. Michael Reeves showed up.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting the Michael Reeves. William Osmond showed up and shot you in the back. Shot you, AB, and Will Neff.
Oh, speaking of which, man, we gotta get on. We should make a maximum damage website so where we can upload like relevant pics and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
like how old radio shows do.
Well, Crime Junkie does that too.
Oh, they do that?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. But yeah, I'll show you guys my my back injury.
Yeah. Yeah, show the back here. Can I don't know if obviously the listeners can't. Oh yeah, there it is.
There it is.
That's what the paintball did.
Yeah. Wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Like, it maybe looks a little bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's healed. It's like 4 or 5 days, or 4 days healed. But,
I think just after getting tattooed.
Yeah, I think after getting tattooed, because the pain, wore out, I was like, okay, I could get...
quick.
If I thought I was going to bring more eyes or something, I think I would have said, light me up.
Yeah.
But I'll save that for next time.
Yeah, because, the thing with something like that is it kind of feels like just one bad line.
Yeah.
One bad tattoo line.
I wish that could be a tattoo.
Yeah.
Like,
a
if
quick
you could
one
just
and
trade
done.
it off, all right. So do you want fucking 5 hours of torture or a minute of this?
Yeah, of the paintball. Like,
I don't
shot.
know, though. Like, a straight minute of that would be pretty fucked up. If it was like one, not every second, but like every 5 seconds.
I would have to feel it
Yeah.
to tell you how different it is from a back tattoo line, from like a 9 or a 7. Because, like, so with the type of tattoos that we get, and line work in general, especially for like a back tattoo, they use what's called like a 9 or a 7 line, which is like a row of needles. It's a very thick line. And on the back, it hurts in a special way. Like, I didn't think it was going to feel that bad. But yeah, so at Charity Stream, it was... We're really tired. I'm not going to lie to you. I think I'm a little bit more tired than you. Even now, like, I slept 16 hours yesterday. Like, I slept 2 hours on the plane, and then we got home, and Ian played Hearthstone, and I slept for 3 hours.
I actually played balatro.
Oh, you were playing balatro.
I was playing balatro.
Didn't fucking matter to me, apparently. Slept for 3 hours. Then we had to go pick up the dogs, but Ian could see that I was fucking out of it. So he was like, I'm just going to go pick up the dogs. I slept for another 2 hours, woke up, we went and got Aliberto's, which is such a nice tradition.
Oh, man.
When we're like,
all
just
the Airtos
done.
are lit.
I know, I love the Airtos.
I was thinking when we were going through the drive-thru, I was like, I really should do going to every Airtos
in America.
In America.
Yeah.
I think that would be the most awesome, like, challenge trip.
Yeah.
And just make a fucking, you know, just like was it Ted Nivison and Eddie
Burback
all
doing
of
the rainforest cafes.
Yeah, they've done a couple versions of
Margaritaville.
that. I don't know if that's like really in fashion anymore.
Might not be
like,
anymore.
It's just like
A little late.
it would probably do well if you were already like a popping off channel. But yeah.
Yeah, it might be a little late. But yeah, we went to Aliberto's and then ate. And then I was like, oh man, I'm afraid I'm not going to sleep because I've been sleeping all day. Ian fucking whipped out balatro, which I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what the fuck is going on in that game. Like, you were trying to explain it to me, and I'm like, I can't even see. I didn't have my glasses on. The numbers are so small. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's all a blur to me.
Yeah, that's fair. Compared to Hearthstone, like Hearthstone has simplified it so much, and they actually have some cute, like, animations.
I
they
love
have
the
some
voice
cute...
acting. I love the, like...
It's a more of an ASMR experience.
Yeah, and you're
Balatro is
explaining
like,
stuff to
what
me.
the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm just hearing some, like, fucking coins jangling and,
you
like...
gotta squint your eyes to see if that's a 6 or
Yeah.
a 9.
I have no clue what's... I can't see. So, he played balatro, and then I fucking conked, and I slept for 10 hours.
Yeah.
And now I'm awake, and, like, I feel pretty good, but... I think the week I was just so stressed. I felt sick the whole week. I couldn't eat. I couldn't really sleep. So now I'm trying to like catch up. But the stream, it was like really intense because like we had like a broadcasting team and like setting up production and trying to get the bag to work. And then you know you have people coming in and out. And then we were staying at Odd Ones Out's house, which was so awesome.
Yeah.
I love Odd Ones Out. I think that just a really cool guy. It was really nice to get to know him better. James. And
Yeah.
we were staying at his place, and then we were able to hang out with him more after the stream was done, after we were done like kind of running around like chickens with our heads cut off. And then we had 2 birthdays in the same night that we went to, which was Eric Comment Etiquette. And man, does he have an eclectic group of friends.
Yeah. I mean, it was eclectic at both parties. I was like,
yeah, no,
damn.
it's true. It was eclectic at both because, yeah, we went to Eric's and there was some guy. I walked by somebody talking about Jupiter's moons.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, he's like working with NASA. And then on the other side of the fucking house, there's somebody talking about hanging out with Viagra boys.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And everything in between, there was like a bunch of film graduates.
And then just a bunch of friends of Eric's
from
college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the reason why Eric is such a down-to-earth person is that he definitely has kept people that aren't just YouTubers
Yes, in his life. I agree.
So like that was pretty cool. And they brought like food. Like one of his buddies brought like fucking St. Louis. It's called like butter
Cookies, something.
Yeah, there's a name for it. I've heard of it before. I've always wanted to try it. The like butter cake, the something but butter cake, gooey butter cake.
But he did it in cookie version.
Did it in cookie version. Eric was making fucking gumbo, like
Chana masala.
Yeah, chana masala. He had it on the table. His buddy made like this awesome spinach dip. It was a really good time. And then as we were leaving, Jack's Films and his wife were coming in.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it
we
was
like
sad.
ships in the night. And then we went to Sabrina's and we did karaoke. And Sabrina, that was another like eclectic. It was like Illuminations to like Chris Ray Gun to like, who was the other?
Well, someone...
Denims was there for but a second. We missed that.
But a second.
But a second.
I love a but a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I think that was my first non-ironic, what do you call it? Karaoke.
Okay, he says that, but he sang "I Love You, Jesus" by Trisha Paytas, and then said, and then played Hotline Bling and said, "This is in honor of Drake winning the rap battle."
Yes, that is true. Everything she said was true. However, you have to understand where I came from. The only other karaoke I've done is
with How to Basic.
With How to Basic,
right?
Where we would just alternate saying like fucking
horrible shit,
pussy, come, pussy. We literally wouldn't even sing the fucking songs.
Right. Okay. No, that's fair.
So yeah, it felt way more genuine. And also, yeah, all the other songs I did sing to regardless of having the mic or not.
It's true, yeah.
And I was like, I'm actually digging this and I can kind of understand why people would like it.
It's so much fun. And we were sober because Ian was going to drink, but then he had a gluten attack.
A gluten attack.
It's hard to eat celiac when you're traveling.
Oh, that was something I was a bit disappointed with this stream. Like, okay, so one of the aspects of the stream that was meant to be really cool is having an overlay replacing the bag with some JPEGs. And I really wanted each fighter, I wanted to essentially push a button and have their worst fucking nightmare show up on the bag.
Oh, like a Bogart in the claws art.
Yes.
Nice.
Everyone's unique Bogart. Maybe we'll do that next time. Maybe we'll call it the Bogart in the bag or something.
Bogart in the bag.
I like that.
I do, yeah.
Okay, maybe we can do a redo on that.
Yeah, Bogart in the bag.
And my Bogart in the bag was going to be like a loaf of bread, some like beer, everything gluten related.
Yeah.
And maybe some like old pictures of myself.
Nice.
I just thought that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
For other people, it was just like their opponents that they're fighting. So odd ones out, I would have put a picture of Will Neff up there.
Yeah.
I did a thing.
Oh yeah, I did a thing. Ren would have Trevor show up.
Yeah. And whatever kind of cute little thing I can think of. I was thinking for William Haynes, I would have all of his past bosses show up, like Philly D.
Link, Rhett.
Maybe Casey Neistat. I don't know if he worked for Casey
I think he
Neistat.
did. I'm pretty sure he did.
William Haynes is weirdly connected.
William Haynes. Shelby, the shovel, when she showed up to the stream just to watch in the background, she was like, I recognize him. And I was like, oh, from Rhett and Link. And she goes, no. But then Taylor was like, oh my God, that's where I know him from. And then I was like, Philly D, and then Shelby was like, oh my God, that's where I know him from.
Okay.
So like that's it does seem to be.
I specifically remember him from SourceFed, which was like Philly D, and I'm kind of sad that shit didn't keep growing.
Yeah.
Because it was a really good like I don't know, mix of fucking millennials getting into like politics and other things, but it felt very responsible.
Feels like the turnoff we should have taken instead of XQC and Asmongold
right.
now telling us the news.
Yes. Yeah. When you go back, I think a lot of it's probably still up. It's just so stark to see this.
Yeah,
it's
know.
Like, ugh.
It was kind of like a Vice thing as well. Like they were going around and doing some like documentary interview things.
So, yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was cool. A lot of good creators came out of that.
Yeah.
William Haynes was one of them. Steve Zaragoza, I think, was part of that. That's a friend of Will's. And then
Which Will?
William Haynes.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Sorry, there was like
there's
three Wills that
three
showed
Wills
up to
there.
the stream. There was William Osmond, Will Neff, and William Haynes.
At least Will Neff goes by Will. I don't think. Do I call? Okay, I have called William. I don't call him William. I don't call any of them William.
Yeah, they're all Will.
William.
William.
I will call
To
Will.
the bag, William.
I will call our Will Squilliam.
Yeah, we do
and
call
some other things.
we
like
do
that.
call. I like it. Our Will.
Yeah.
We do call our Will Squilliam.
Yeah.
When we're talking about him to each other.
Yeah.
There is a few of those that we do. It's just like more for us for shortcuts.
Yeah.
Squilliam.
But yeah, the stream overall went well. I wasn't sure what to put the like donation goal at. Mm-hmm. I was like looking at other like popping off streamers like charity donation streams, and I was like, I don't fucking stream on Twitch or YouTube, and I don't know the reach this is gonna have. But I was pleasantly surprised. We raised 15,000, and that was
Right now, the whole campaign is at 24,000.
yeah. Which is awesome.
Which is like, and that's, we're way far out still.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I imagine the majority, like how we built it out, is the majority of the donation should happen,
Before.
the day of.
No, a lot should happen before.
You think so?
Well, that's what I've been told.
Okay.
It's like,
We'll see.
What? So just so everybody knows, like we are a part of like our Creator Clash is a small group of people. Like who run it, honestly, but like for what it is, but it's still like more than this year. It's more than just me and Ian, obviously. The past 2 years it was more just than just me and Ian, but this year especially is like we've put our trust in a few people that have plans for things, and one of them is the like donation like goals where things are supposed to be at, and like we should get a good chunk from during on the stream, but I've been told that there's stuff in place to try and get a lot before. So I mean,
I like that.
it's working already.
It is,
happy.
and it makes me feel it's tricky, right? Because I think Anisa and I feel really anxious about the whole thing, just because this is more unknown. We have a new format where it's like now we're doing double duty, where it's like, okay, we gotta promote the show and sell tickets to the show, and then we have to raise money and promote the charity. So it's like
and run it,
and run it,
and deal with the fighters and do the
So it's just a lot, and it's not it's not exactly proven to us yet. So we're gonna.
You're along for the ride with us.
Yes, and we will be giving you these weekly updates, I guess.
Yeah. I'm very curious how many people know Sapnap and Tubbo are fighting in it, because even when we were talking to James was like surprised that Sapnap and Tubbo were fighting in it.
So cool.
When we were at his house, I'm like, yes, they are. So I think we have to communicate.
Some more people.
Yeah, and there's going to be like mini docs that are coming out and bumpers that we're putting out that are being professionally filmed.
We are trying to like hit it from multiple angles.
We're trying to hit it from multiple angles.
I know that it is important to promote it from my angle, because I think, a lot of people, I think I'm aware of how big of a deal you and I are aware of how big of a deal some of these fights are.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to communicate that to people just by showing you names.
Yep.
Because, to the average fucking 23-year-old, they're like, I don't know who any of these people are.
Yeah.
What's a Harley? What's an LA breast? I don't know.
Yep.
So, communicating that there's a history here, maybe not a history of beef per se, but these are two guys you would never expect. Yeah. Lore. And maybe an emphasis on lore.
But there is beef with Tubbo and Sapnap.
Yeah, there is.
That's real beef. This is the first time we're going to have a fight that's like real beef.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
Dream's coming.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's cool. We'll I mean, if that's the only, fucking beef of the whole thing, it'll be an interesting experiment what it brings.
Yeah, what it pulls.
Because there is that element of like, people can almost always say, especially when Creator Clash 2 didn't do well, people can always point to the lack of beef and the lack of that kind of shit as a reason it didn't do well.
Well, what pisses me off about that though is like didn't do well, meaning like
financially.
Yeah, but even like it did well numbers wise. It didn't do well financially.
True.
It's not like the beef would have inspired people to not pirate.
That's
the
a good
stream.
point. Yeah.
Like, and I think that's like something because obviously we focus on the financial part because that's what we're seeing on the back end. But like, more people watch two than one.
That's a great point.
So like, like we have the numbers. We had people recording it, so more people watch two than one. So the beef thing is kind of like. It's hard to.
It is also a little bit like reinforcing. I think I already saw it with the charity live stream where some people were like, what did they say? They said, I didn't even know this was happening.
Yeah.
You really need to start promoting these things more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's the new meme on my channel. Like, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it could maybe feed into itself as the idea of like
that's the criticism.
Yeah.
You
need to promote these things more, like even when like you're like posting that on an advertisement for the thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, I need to promote these things more.
Maybe you should do like something like really like kind of like the Drake like throwing the shoe weird.
Oh yeah, an orchestrated thing.
Yeah,
like
but
really
like,
clearly fake.
But like even worse than that, like feed into the humiliation ritual thing, where it's like
think about this. Think about this.
Okay, I'm thinking.
I get a drone. You can pilot it.
Okay.
Okay. You have it slowly lower into the window of our house.
Okay.
And you get a little bit closer and you can just barely make out me. Like I'm naked on the floor, shoving a fucking banana up my ass.
Oh,
no, not
banana.
channel changer. I'm going amazing atheist route.
Amazing atheist route.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm lubing it up with Nutella and ramming it up my ass.
Nutella? Was he lubing it with Nutella?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. You just
for
added
some reason.
That for flair.
No, you know what? I think the reason I'm thinking that is
because it's a delicious combo.
No, I think that was maybe my first like exposure to like, oh shit, people put things up their butt. Like,
you looked up Nutella lubing banana in ass?
No.
Oh.
The Amazing Atheist.
Oh.
And I was like, holy shit, like people get off to this because I'm not.
That was the first time you learned?
I think so.
How old were you?
Because it didn't, I don't know. Like I was somewhere in my teens probably.
You were not in your teens when Amazing Atheist shoved a banana
really?
up his ass.
I gotta look
You
that
were
up.
like 27. That happened when we were together.
No.
Yes, it did.
That
what are you gonna look
like
up?
ages
are
ago.
you gonna look up when did Amazing Atheist shove a banana up his ass?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like 100% sure you were like late 20s. I like feel it in my bones.
Okay. I was typing it so furiously. What I typed out was, when did Amazing Athirst shoes bamas in ass?
Great question.
13 years ago.
13 years ago. So you're 34.
Yeah.
So how long?
I was like 20 then.
No way, because it was like after
21?
we were together.
It wasn't after we were together. 13 years ago wasn't after we were together.
No, but I swear to God, Amazing Atheist was like doing well, and then the banana controversy happened, and then he quit.
Oh, that could have
That's what I
happened, but that doesn't have anything to do with our relationship.
We were dating when he was doing well.
That can't be. That literally cannot be. I just said 13 years ago.
Okay.
And this isn't even proof that it was 13 years ago. It could have been 15 years ago because this is just, this article says, the Amazing Atheist reacting to his leaked personal video where he shoves a banana up his anus. Bananagate, as he calls it.
Okay, listen. Anyways, the point is, you were 21.
2012.
Okay.
2012 is when it happened.
That's the first time you realized that people put
escape.
things in their ass to feel enjoyment.
Let me get out a calculator. Don't mind me, guys.
You have to admit that that's kind of insane that you were 21 when you realized people put stuff up their ass to feel good.
Okay, so you're making it sound like
or do you
that's
mean
a bad thing. Okay. I'm okay with being innocent enough I was also saying frick back then,
Oh,
okay?
you were.
Like, let's not...
And you're playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No, that's
You're
true.
allowed to be 20 years old, not know how sexually depraved people are.
What? That's not sexual depravity.
Shoving a banana up your ass?
It's smooth and arched.
Knowing that people get enjoyment out of it, sure. Maybe I should have had that epiphany earlier in life.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should have realized that when I was 8.
8?
Yeah. What's the age? What do you think the age is?
Okay, well,
When you're in middle school?
Let me put it this way. I know for a fact you were watching porn way before you were 21.
I wasn't watching people shoving shit up their ass porn.
You were, but I'm sure it like came on your radar, like people getting stuff shoved up their ass.
It's true. Like I was aware of it.
Let's not act like you weren't on porn sites.
Yeah, it's...
You're
that's
acting like
actually
you were-
so funny. Like,
Yeah.
actually, the truth is, guys, I was playing Minecraft. I was saying frick, but I was also consuming the deadliest of porn.
Like,
No,
what were you looking up?
no.
Mom and dad kiss each other porn or something?
That's that's always how it starts. No, let's rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the idea of someone it just being that real, it not being like particularly like performative.
Oh.
It was like someone's private thing
Yeah.
that got leaked, and it's
So-
like that private thing. Like was that private moment was
Yeah.
shown to the world,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh shit, like he wasn't even doing this as a bit. This wasn't even meant to go out to the public.
Yeah.
There was no sense
it's
of
more-
performing. It was just
You were learning that people take objects that aren't with the intention of putting up your ass and putting it up their ass for enjoyment. That's what you learned.
what,
Not
and
that
filming
people-
themselves.
And filming themselves.
Yeah,
Okay.
privately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because I've definitely seen a fucking banana in an ass on like a porn
Thought
site
you were
or
gonna
something. Yeah.
I've definitely shoved a banana up my ass.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, no, I know. That's the last thing.
Nothing
you would
can
do.
go up my ass.
Yeah.
Except my own poop
Huh?
when I'm prairie dogging it.
God, that scared me for
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah. So, what were we talking about?
A lot.
No, we were talking about before Amazing Atheist's ass story.
Oh man. Rewind. YouTube Rewind. Amazing atheist ass in YouTube Rewind.
That would be sick if that was in
Okay.
YouTube Rewind.
But yeah, we had a good time at these birthday parties. Karaoke. We were talking a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think we
We
may have
skipped over that.
yeah, like
Yeah, or past it.
past
We completed
we
that.
completed that. But yeah, there was a lot of socialization, and we don't socialize very often. We tried to take pictures.
I got to know a lot more about James, which was awesome.
Yeah, no,
'cause
that was really good.
James, I only know from like him doing his YouTube channel and just kind of knowing a little bit of like childhood stories about him
Yeah.
through his YouTube videos, and then
Just our professional,
yeah.
professional.
but yeah, he's got a lot of like interesting interests and stuff. He's into magic. That made me excited. 'Cause I
being
love
in
card
Magic
games.
Gathering, yeah.
Makes me want to
Get into magic.
get into magic more.
Yeah, I met a snake. Ian was taking pictures of me.
Yeah.
It was just like a good time. It felt like we were really kind of getting into the groove of like living life.
Yeah.
You know, not just being permanent homebodies, because that's pretty much what we are usually. We're usually just at home. So yeah, there was a lot. I mean, traveling was easy. The flight is always so easy from here to
LA.
LA. Not LA people though. We've really learned that we're not. We do not.
Well, when we get back home, we realize like it's very. The longer you stay, the more like it contrasts.
Yeah,
Because we get here and we're like, oh shit, the air is clean.
they're so good
Everything's clean because
Yeah.
everything's constantly coated
in rain.
in some amount of rain.
Yeah, the sun's not beating down on you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, and just culturally, like,
There's sidewalks here. There are no sidewalks in LA.
yeah, there's
That might seem like an exaggeration, but like even in very well-developed areas with, you know, expensive houses and stuff,
Yeah.
people still don't value fucking sidewalks.
Yeah,
You can't walk anywhere.
no. But yeah, I guess that's really like kind of what we learned from this trip is like we just got to focus on online presence, grinding. There was someone who watches this podcast who Ian spotted him driving because there's always a look that people who recognize Ian give. It's even if you don't think you're doing it, and it's fine. It's good because it's like a good warning of like, okay, we're about to like.
It's helpful, yeah. You don't need to even necessarily say anything.
Yeah. But this guy gave the look, and then he showed up out of a neighborhood on a one wheel. And he was like, "Oh, I watched the podcast," which is such a shock because like in the grand scheme of things, like no offense to you guys are awesome. There's 3,000 strong on average or whatever, but like
just
it's very,
on YouTube.
Just on you. That's true. Just on YouTube. But it's a small number. And so when he said I watched the podcast, I was like, oh my God, people watch the podcast because like I mean, I feel like I'm just speaking into the ether a lot of the time. And he was so sweet,
incredibly sweet,
and we needed that day like so bad. I think wearing an awesome Peanuts shirt, cool guy, does music, grinding, but just said like that he appreciated everything that
the direction that I've gone and that we've gone, and just overall very sweet. So that was a nice little pick me up.
That was a big pick me up.
We were just getting done as well telling James. I was like, oh yeah, there were a lot of moments when my content was a little bit more loose-lipped, where we would get fan interactions that made us, stop and question who I was making videos for, because just like too many of the social interactions were fucking frightful.
Frightful is an understatement. Some of them were
aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive.
But yeah, we were just telling James that, and obviously James, his target demo is like fucking normal people, a lot of kids, and a lot of sweet kids. So his interactions have, I imagine, largely been good with fans.
I mean, and even the sushi place we went to, we went to Conveyor Sushi with James, and like the server, she was just the sweetest, most polite, and she was just like, oh, I love your content. That's what it was like for him.
Yeah. So just, and he asked us, he's like, do you think it's like, has it changed at all? And we were like, yes, absolutely it's changed, And it's like, I think it's one of those things where now that people who were really like excitable and like kind of aggressive, they're just not getting as much out of those interactions, and they don't feel, I think, because I still think like if you see iDubbbz, you might even want to get a picture with him, even if you're not a fan. It's just like, I found the wild Pokemon.
Yeah.
But they don't feel the need to like perform or be as aggressive as they were before.
The sad thing is that a lot of them, it did come from a place of wanting to impress you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them had this idea that you were
going around like I'm recording a bad unboxing. And, I'm always looking to be fucking spastic. And
I think you were one of the
chaotic.
YouTubers, because like YouTubers, I've really learned when you meet them, they're either exactly how they are on camera, and you're like, oh my God, how do you function in society? Or they're nothing like their camera. There's like no in between.
That's part of why doing this podcast, I think, is very rewarding for me, is just to at least have, even if I start to develop more of a particular persona on my main channel, it's like people can come here and realize, oh, okay, that's a bit separate.
Yeah, it's like a different thing. Because like, I think a lot of people really thought that in order to earn your respect, they had to do something crazy.
Yeah.
They had to say something crazy.
Yeah.
Which was, it's
unfortunate, but we're past that, and it feels good. It feels good to have, just regular chilled out people that just want to, say that they recognize you or whatever is awesome.
Or they love your content. A lot of people liking the squirrel content. A lot of people liking your most recent two like videos, the boxing one and the abortion one. Yeah. And I don't know, it's nice. I don't feel like I also oddly enough don't feel like I disappear. during those interactions
Yeah.
anymore. Because before, when people would meet you, it was like they were so
Well, you just become like a dog with a ball, where it's just like the dog can't focus on anything else
but the ball.
but the ball. Everything else disappears, and it's a natural, normal reaction, especially like the more exciting it is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There's this one sweet TSA agent at the Seattle airport that we sometimes run into. And he comes and says hello. I think the first time it took him some courage, but now he just comes and says hello. And
and it's
he's
nice.
He's a nice. A lot of TSA guys recognize you. That seems to be it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's very cool.
We also had this fucking cool Syrian-born guy.
Oh yeah.
His name was Omar, and he was in the lounge that we were sitting in, and he said hi, and he was awesome too, super interesting. He wanted to know about the boxing stuff. A lot of, like, just very cool fan interactions. The last couple...
I think it also helps as well. Like, I'm getting better at interacting with people.
That's
Whereas
true.
before it'd be like, oh, like I would make it painful in my head.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen, so I want to avoid.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like, oh, like, you know, almost all the interactions are fucking awesome. So it's just like, I'll pursue it more.
Yeah.
Like, if someone's given an indication, it's like, I got time. I can fucking talk for a minute.
Yeah, I've got questions.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that is a curiosity sometimes as well, where it's like, man, I don't know how this person recognized me, because either my looks changed or like this person seems old, like older. Like, he seemed pretty old, not old, but
Omar,
like older.
the one from the yeah,
And I
like
was
our
like-
age, like 30.
Yeah, I'm like, how, like, what would you recognize me from? My fucking Creator Clash or something?
Yeah.
Like, where could this possibly be? But he was just saying when he was younger, he would watch my videos, and I was like, oh, damn, like,
I know. It's
all right.
crazy.
Like, even though he's like late 20s, it's like, okay.
Yeah. It was cool, though. I was able to talk to him about Middle East and where he's from. And he was Lebanese, but he was born in Syria. And now he lives in...
Yeah, he was very complimentary of Syria. He was like, oh,
Yeah.
you got to come
he
visit.
really wants us to go
Awesome.
visit Syria. He's like, now, especially now. And I do actually want to eventually...
And this dog keeps farting. This dog's laying on my lap, and he just keeps farting.
Really? I haven't smelled anything.
Yeah, I mean, they're small. They're only
Small
staying
farts.
within my region, just enough to poison me.
He's doing slow poison damage, tick damage.
It's rough.
Sorry. A little toot, man.
But yeah, the trip was great. I really enjoyed my time with seeing all the fighters again. It makes me want to continue to I don't know, stay in contact and support those relationships, because it just always surprises me. I'm just like, oh, damn, like, you guys have no reason to fucking show up to this charity live stream. Like, you don't fucking have to at
They're
all.
so, like, ride or die.
Yeah.
I think the community, and that's, like, for me, I was explaining this to, who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody about this, that, like, for me, Creator Clash feels like my pushback against, like, kind of how the world is going right now, where, like, the focus is community, like, for both viewers and
as opposed
YouTubers.
to isolation,
trying to just make the cheapest, fastest, quickest thing that guarantees money, you know, like all this crypto shit and
True.
like all this, it just feels like it's born out of, like, wanting to connect and wanting to help and wanting to, like, I don't know, be human. It just feels very human to me. It's very important to me for that.
That's why it brought up, actually, this is unrelated to what you're saying, but you reminded me that I brought up me and Alex Wasabi touching each other with the gloves because I noticed his eyes looked a little bit irritated after the match. The match. And that could just be because I fucking, bopped him in his eye. And that fucking sucks when you don't have, when you're just like, you know, just like, that's another reason why headgear is beneficial. It's just like keeping
Protects
things
you.
out of your eyes.
Yeah.
Is
pretty important.
Yeah.
But it could be that I got it from the gloves as well. You know.
Yeah,
It's
very
like-
well could be, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause there was a lot of gloves going around, and
There was no, you know,
we were
hygiene.
flying,
with
we were, you know...
Next time I'd have just some wipes to wipe down the
Yeah.
gloves often. Oh, and I want to get this for the house, by the way. There's might even have them in Edmonton a lot, where you can dry out boots or whatever.
Oh, yeah, we have those
a
in
little
Edmonton
vent
a lot.
thing,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
put them on there. I love that idea. And I want to get those for here and with the boxing equipment
yeah,
after
totally.
a session.
That is very popular.
It's just like a little device that blows air into like a cavity of something because it's really hard to get air inside there.
Like funnel in, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing I guess to update is we officially applied to remove the conditions of our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So
That sounds like a bad thing. You need to clarify that or
no,
stop describing it in that way.
that's legally what it is.
I know, but it just confuses people, and then it forces them to ask a follow up.
Okay.
Rather than just saying like we're officially on to the next step of me
Immigration.
getting my immigration status improved or whatever.
Just so everybody knows how like complicated and annoying this shit is. When we applied for a green card, it's a green card with conditions, and it's like, okay, you see that we're getting married and that we love each other, or like you've decided that we like each other enough that you're going to give us this green card and believe that we're earnestly getting married. But it only lasts for 2 years, and then after 2 years you have to remove the conditions. The conditions were like, okay, yeah, sure, you like each other and you're married and we believe that you got married, but prove to us that you're still together. And everyone has to do that. So we basically had to reapply and prove that we've been married, you know, for this time that we've had the green card. And then once they say, yes, okay, you're clearly married and living together, then they remove the conditions of your green card, and then you just have a green card. And I can technically apply for citizenship, I think probably when they'll get around to like actually looking at our case, because it takes years, which is, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But we might have an interview, we might not.
It's awesome though.
Crazy. Yeah, no, it's awesome.
To be making progress on it.
Yeah.
We're trying to do a lot of the important life, stuff.
Important life stuff.
And immigration is an important part of that,
It is, yeah.
whether you like it or not.
And we definitely do not.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been great since getting back. Oh my God. Last night when we had our sort of kind of a cheat meal, it's a recovery meal.
Recovery meal.
After travel. We love getting Mexican food
Yeah.
as a recovery meal.
Yeah.
And I get carne asada fries and I just freaking down that shit. But I'm always feeling so much hungrier. So I ordered 5 rolled tacos supreme.
I was going to say Supreme. Like, he ordered the rolled tacos, which is already like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh my God. And then he said Supreme, and I was like, whoa, brother. Like, Supreme is like...
Oh, but they're my new love.
They're your new love.
They're my new love because, there's a lot of Mexican food I can eat as a gluten.
As a gluten.
As a gluten guy.
Yeah, as an anti-gluten
As
guy.
an anti-gluten guy. But those ones, like, they hit so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other thing. We're going to actually work on getting you diagnosed as celiac.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky, though, because now that I'm, like, living the lifestyle of a person with celiac, I need to reinfect myself.
Yeah.
Because when I was reading the forums, they were basically saying that you need to, like, don't get your diagnosis before getting on a celiac diet, because you're going to have to ingest gluten on a regular basis to get the accurate diagnosis, because they do a few things. They do a blood test, and they also do a biopsy of your gut.
Yeah, and they go in through your mouth.
They do.
Which is like, I mean...
Yeah. I thought it would be through your butthole.
I thought it would be through your butthole, too.
Yeah, but I'm glad it's through the mouth.
So are they taking your small intestine?
I guess so.
They must.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Duodenum, which one's that?
that is the beginning of your... It's either the ending or the beginning of your small intestine.
I think it's the
It's the
duodenum.
first 2 inches or something like that. It's either the beginning or the end. I can't remember, but it's one of the two. So it's small intestine.
So yeah, we're gonna get that done now that we're back from LA and we have some time.
Yep.
But yeah, I might even go in and just like ask as like a, what do you call that? Like a introductory.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Give me the skinny doc.
The initial like
Yeah.
fucking whatever you call it diagnosis.
And then they can kind of tell me like whether or not it's a stupid idea or not. I would just like more information because it does seem like, you know, I've gotten some cross contamination before and it's been bad. It's been just as bad as I think of
Eating.
It hasn't been as bad as eating a loaf of bread.
Yeah, but it's done
But it's
significant.
And I'm just kind of curious to what level, like if there's any additional information that can be acquired through a proper diagnosis. Or if, you know, fucking Reddit is still always just going to be better.
Reddit is king.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of fucking info. If you have like a decent understanding of health and the body,
Yeah.
which Anisa has a decent understanding, she can kind of tell me what's complete horseshit or not.
Yeah.
And to be fair, if you're on fucking, if you already have the interest of like some self-diagnosis stuff on the, and you're on the gluten-free or not, probably not the gluten-free, but specifically the celiac subreddit.
The celiac, yeah.
You've already done like a lot of the work. You're asking the questions.
You're asking the right questions.
You're not just a random Redditor who's trying to fucking just like debunk everything.
Yeah, because like gluten intolerance and celiac are two different.
There are people who are gluten intolerant, but there's so many things that could be.
Yeah.
From what I've looked up, that like you're just fucking
Well, it's
shooting in the dark.
It's totally valid that like gluten protein can upset your stomach, but it's like a very different. Like again, intolerance is different than celiac.
So yeah, that's been a cool journey, cool little side project. But yeah, now that we're back from LA, I'm just gonna get back on the grind. I'm gonna try
Grinding.
to.
I'm back to cooking.
Yeah.
So
Exciting.
excited. I'm gonna make the tofu pumpkin, the red curry, coconut red curry today.
That'll be awesome for my gut biome.
Yeah, just good old veggies and some tofu and some warmth.
Oh, we had some awesome pho while we were in LA.
The noodles were so chewy, and I don't know how they did that with rice.
We also had tripe, and I'm curious to get your guys' take on tripe
Yeah,
because
I love tripe.
I think I get a little bit skeeved when I have tripe, but it's like not like kind of shredded up.
yeah, you like the shredded tripe.
Yeah, because when I'm getting like a little flat plane of tripe, this is like, what is it? Stomach lining?
Stomach, yeah, stomach.
Okay, the stomach of a cow.
Yeah. Well, it can be tripe can be anything.
Anything, stomach
pretty
of
sure.
any animal.
Yeah.
Probably a cow in this case.
Yeah. No, it was a cow in that
Okay.
case. Yeah.
But yeah, it's got a crazy texture to it.
Yeah.
It's not very flavorful, but it's it's good.
Texturally, it's
Yeah.
really nice. I think it's really nice.
But yeah, I got it in the kind of the more stringy format, and that was
Yeah, the tendril format.
very very tasty.
Yeah. Whenever I go to pho, I really like oxtail too because I like the meat kind of falling off.
Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, the one that I haven't gotten over fully is roe.
Like eggs?
Yes,
Oh.
fish roe.
Really?
Yeah, that one's a little bit tough for me because I'm not a big fan of the texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. Like I can imagine eating like caviar makes more sense to me than roe. Roe's like really small eggs that are kind of like almost like a cauliflowery texture on a string.
Yeah, yeah. But they usually like mix it in like I watch like a lot of like Japanese like moms making bento boxes for their husbands.
Yeah.
And they put roe like in the rice. And it's just like a additional like flavor enhancer.
Yeah.
I think eating roe on its own, I like could get why that's like
Yeah. That was another surprising thing is I didn't realize that James, Odd Ones Out, wasn't a picky eater. He was like,
I don't know why I assumed he was.
Because he's a fucking animator.
Yeah.
When you picture an animator,
I do picture
especially
a picky
for
eater.
like
No
more
offense.
like a young audience,
Yeah.
it's like, all right, there's probably a ton of anecdotes about I didn't eat anything except chicken nuggies and ketchup.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
like,
I do go to chicken nuggies, which again, if you're an animator, no offense, but
a lot of animators on YouTube,
Like
they
chicken
do
nuggies.
give chicken nuggies vibes.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but
it is what it
it
is.
is what it is.
But yeah, he's not a picky eater.
No,
he said
no.
he'll try anything at least once,
Mm-hmm.
and I respect that.
Yeah.
It's fine to have preferences as long as you are open to trying things. Where my hang up is people who brag about being a picky eater.
A little too much of their personality.
Yeah,
You know what I was just
that's
thinking
my
about is specifically, I think the brain chemistry that needs to change is basically just saying, like, because this is the way I look at it. Like, there are a few foods that can challenge me on occasion or do actively challenge me. Like I said, roe actively challenges me. I'm trying to figure out how to conquer that.
Yeah.
So there isn't a thought in my head, whether I'm full or extremely hungry, like I'll just eat it without thinking.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get these foods into the same category as bacon
Yeah.
or
Yeah, you're trying to move it closer
Sugar.
to bacon
yeah,
and poopy.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's how people should be looking at it, rather than like, oh no, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it's specifically that's disgusting or like bragging about it, because I do think like part of it is incredibly culturally insensitive a lot of the time, but like also on top of that, like it just
Or the appearance of it specifically.
vibes.
It's like, no, yeah.
it's just bad vibes. Like if you're calling something a diarrhea dish, bad vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, I understand ARFID exists, and some people really have a hard time with textures, and like that's totally fine. I'm talking about specifically the people who like
Even
are like
still, it's a challenge. I
Yeah.
imagine there's a lot of ARFID people
yeah.
who aren't going to say that fucking sushi is disgusting.
No, I agree.
Right?
They'll
It's just
be
all in
like,
how
"It's
you
hard for
talk
me.
about it. Yeah,
It's hard for me.
Yeah. And it's interesting as well, because sometimes it is a little bit like random. Like, hey, I don't know why I'm fine eating a strawberry but not a tomato.
Yeah.
It's like
Is
you
what it
could
is.
just be very sensitive to that texture change. And a lot of people are. It's like,
I was.
Yeah.
I had a hard time with tomatoes. Specifically cherry tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's why like I'm like a big Link hater for that. His like tomato hate.
It just feels
Because
way too
it's-
put on.
Well, he's too old for that.
Yeah.
Like I also was a tomato hater. I had to, really
He's referring
truck
to
through
Link from Good Mythical
Good
Morning.
Mythical Morning.
Link
He hates
Neil.
tomatoes. And I get it. But I think it's because I get it.
Yeah.
That I'm like
You have less sympathy for
I
it.
have less sympathy for it, because he like brags about it, and it's still it's like you can't eat all these like things, like this wide spectrum of things, and
Yeah.
still be a
I
champion of
know
hating
you've been through the
You've been through the
testing
gauntlet.
ground. Yeah, the gauntlet. I think what bothers me in particular is because I haven't been able to peg it exactly.
Yeah.
For a while, I think he was making the claim that it was like the taste.
Oh,
not
I
the
remember he
texture.
was saying that for
And
a
then
while.
he tasted like a tomato thing, and he was like, "I like that." And sometimes when it was a blind test thing,
Yeah,
it was
he
like,
would like
that
it.
wasn't bad.
No, you're right.
At a minimum.
That is what. Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell? Like,
You're lying.
Yeah.
You're a liar.
if Link's going to therapy, I think that's an important one for him to tackle in therapy, because that is probably indicative of something way bigger. Like, let's drill down on the tomatoes.
On the tomato hate, the random.
Because like, why are you holding that so
He
fucking?
does, and he does that often. Here's the thing with like, he does that often. He picks something that he like decides is reality, but then he'll have things like challenge that reality, especially when he's blind tasting something, and he won't correct it.
Ugh.
And I something about that really irks
or
me.
even interested in like, oh, like like why is that the
Why?
case?
I know he won't ask the why.
Like, maybe it would be cool if I can find the missing link Ooh, pun intended.
Yeah.
Between, the thing that I like that has tomato in it and tomato.
Yeah. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
But he does, even sometimes, like, when he hears something, like the name of something, he'll, like, decide
Yeah.
that he doesn't like it.
Way ahead of time.
Which, we love you, Link. You'll never watch this. We love Good Mythical Morning, okay? We're just venting. We're just venting.
And it's a very human dynamic as well.
very...
Like, it's...
You're human.
Yeah.
And we get it, but we also don't get it.
I was going to say, like, as far as... Because there's so many tomato things, man. Like, I had this awesome tomato ice cream from Frankie and Joe's, which is like a local Seattle vegan ice cream chain.
Yeah,
super good.
So good.
And then I've also had, recently had a tomato bisque.
Oh, yeah.
That shit is incredible.
Slaps.
And, getting a grilled cheese, now all of a sudden, you're not, like, sucking on a big heirloom tomato. You're not having a big slice on your burger where it just takes away from it. Yeah. You're dipping it. And you can take as much or as little as you want. So you have this, level of control.
And it's creamy.
And it's creamy, and it's got other elements.
And
so it's like, you can get over the taste in that context, I feel like.
Yeah.
But then, I was thinking, and this, like, there's Dame drops.
Oh, yeah, the red ring of death.
Red ring of death. Yeah. And, like, if you're looking for something in your burger... I can understand how that tomato could get in your way of enjoying what you like about a burger. I can understand that. I've grown to be like, oh, tomato's an important part of the burger. Like, that's good.
Yeah.
I can also enjoy it without, like, totally.
Here's my problem. I want to eat as many things at the same time as possible.
Yes.
Like, I want as many things going on in my meal. Like, I have a problem, I think. So it's really hard for me to, like, when people are like, ooh, I don't like that that's on it. My brain's like, what?
Why?
Why? Like,
more things.
More things. Like, fucking
I'm, like,
put chocolate
disappointed
sauce on
at Subway.
That.
Yeah, when they're like, oh, sorry, it's full now.
Yeah.
I'm like, as they're putting it on, I'm like, you're putting on too much
of that one thing. Yeah. So, like, it's hard for me to get to the point where it's like something like a tomato would.
You know what we should make? If I had infinite money and infinite time and cared enough, I would make a Subway sandwich restaurant where we make everything is like essentially like a sheet, like a sheet of American cheese, but it's like lettuce, and we pack it down, so you can like layer on probably 100 sheets, alternating tomato sheet, lettuce sheet.
It's like a fruit leather,
mustard sheet. It's like fruit leather, exactly.
Okay.
You can. I was gonna make that video where everything's a skin, trying to take the skin of everything, or like oatmeal skin. I think if you can make everything a fruit leather, not everything, but most things, and depending on how you like, obviously with enough like machine separating, you can turn meat into bologna.
Yeah, for sure.
You could do that. I think you can do this with everything. So things like the lettuce are going to be a little bit tricky, but you can definitely do it with tomato.
Definitely with tomato. And it would be really good because that's what
potent.
I think MSG is
something like that.
Yeah, is tomato. There's something in the tomato.
There's a reason fucking oven roasted sun-dried tomatoes are so flavorful. Is you distill it down and it's like, that shit packs a punch. Yeah, for those listening, I'm like, I don't know what that was.
Elon Musk.
That was Elon Musk. Now I'm cringing.
Yeah, that was the Elon Musk.
Oh, God.
Wait. Let me,
I have become mean.
You just need the glasses.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like very...
in the fucking dark MAGA hat.
Oh, dark MAGA.
Yeah, guys, man, Merlin's taking an odd...
Oh, he looks so sweet.
An odd form on my lap.
Yeah.
Okay, so we spend this whole time without talking once about Elon Musk, but we got another 25 minutes in the podcast.
25 minutes?
Yeah, so we can get into it.
God.
The things that have been coming out of this fucking freak's mouth lately has been insane.
Did you see him leave his toddler on the stairs?
Yes, I saw him leave his toddler at like a... what was that?
CPAC.
CPAC.
The convention. So there was leaked text. Oh my God, he's putting his asshole in your face. There was leaked text between him and that e-girl,
Yes.
Sinclair, where he said that he's like number 2 for like getting assassinated, yet he's leaving his 4-year-old child to like wander around CPAC with all those freaks.
Very awesome.
It was really, he didn't even look behind him.
He didn't give a fuck.
I was like, what?
It's very obvious at this point that this man has zero empathy.
Yeah.
He's got nothing going on.
There's also a theory that these billionaires are paying for certain gendered IVF outcomes.
No, it's because he's so masculine. He can only make male.
He's giving
children.
his Y every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just kind of
Yeah.
to think about, though, that they're all
It's
having
freaky, yeah.
boys.
And it makes sense. Like the types of things that they value. It's hard to fathom that someone would care enough
to pay for
to pay, but then you start thinking about like, oh yeah, I just like the average like fucking weird guy would choose son every time.
every time.
They're like, well, I need someone to take my name.
Yeah.
I need someone to fucking
Throw a ball with.
be a mini me.
Yeah.
A lot of dipshits around.
Yeah.
And so, you extend that to the idea that like, it's a billionaire with a technocracy ideas
Yep.
and thinking their genes and their brain is so fucking unique and special. Like that, yeah, that's absolutely a recipe for like, I'm going to puppeteer my children into being whatever I want them to be.
Which is so interesting because I remember...
It's going to backfire every fucking time.
Yeah, no, it for sure. It's
Joffrey Baratheon type shit. It
is Joffrey.
Whatever you like kid that you're trying to like force to be whatever, like they're going to be the one who shoots you in the head.
Well, but it's Buddha. Yeah, Buddha. The story of Buddha, which I always found so fascinating, was the king wanted to have a son, and when Buddha was born, he had a marking on him that like the guy who like is meant to like read birthmarks and stuff said that it indicated that he was either going to become like a great king or a great religious figure, and so the father obviously was like, well, I really want a predecessor and someone who will be this like amazing king. So like what he ended up doing was sheltering Buddha very heavily. He wouldn't let him leave the castle. And he had all the women he could want. He had all the like food he could want. And one day, because, when you shelter somebody hard enough, like he wanted to like go out and see the world. So he like begged one of his like servants to like take him out to see the world. And when he went out, he saw nothing but suffering.
Yeah.
Because when you're only exposed to like, all these amazing things, it's such a stark contrast when you go out and you see the everyman, right? Like he sees a blind man begging, he sees people toiling the earth and stuff. And he comes to this realization really quickly that like mankind is suffering, like humanity is suffering. And so he becomes this great religious leader. He becomes Buddha instead of the king that his father wanted him to become.
That's awesome. I didn't know you knew any of that.
Oh, yeah. I love
Was that in your comparative religions course?
Yeah.
Nice.
So Jainism, Buddhism, Taoism, all of that is what, like, I would say I,
fuck with
heavily. Yeah. I didn't know how else to say
I love giving you you're just like, I can't come up with the words. Ian's gonna give me not the most ideal words, but they're the closest, I can think of.
Yeah. And I've always liked it more than Western, but when you look at Western and Eastern, a lot of them like are actually extremely similar. It's like there's a birth of someone who's important, and they kind of preach that we need to love each other, and but
you reminded me while we were talking about that is we met H Bomber guy.
Oh yeah.
And his producer.
Yeah.
At Eric's party.
She was so nice. I liked her a lot.
So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Never met H Bomber guy, but he was very polite, very nice,
super sweet guy. Yeah.
And I mean everyone at the parties was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, just want to bring that up because I remember having a conversation with them about, I think it was like, I was talking about therapy, and I was like, oh yeah, like, because we were talking about kids, and I was like, yeah, like, if we have kids or whatever, like, I'll just fuck them up in, like, a different way than my parents did, me, and that's just kind of how it goes.
That's
it's
just
like
life.
you really kind of have the vision of like what wasn't very good for you growing up, but it kind of makes you a little bit blind to the other things.
The good things.
Yeah,
That
well,
the
good things, and then also just the other things in general, because you're maybe focused on like, oh, like, I was so sheltered, so I won't shelter my kid at all, and I'm gonna let them,
ride the bus when they're 5.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
it's just finding the balance, and
You'll never be perfect as a parent.
No.
And that's fine. That's life.
But it does help. It's one of those things. I feel like some people can take that as, I shouldn't say some people. I think I would take that as an excuse in a different circumstance where I would be like, I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like, yep, you can't be perfect to not try and do better, because I do think there is an objective better
There is, for sure.
that you can always strive for. And, the lengths in which, or how fucked up a kid can get is
exponential. You can become a fucking Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, and vice versa. Like you can do really well for your kid. And, there could always be a hint of like, oh, you didn't do this as well as you could have or whatever.
His legs dangling out of your fucking... It makes it look like you have creepy long brown balls.
Oh, look at my creepy long brown balls.
Like, okay, so for those who are just listening, Merlin is on Ian's lap, and Ian's got his legs crossed, and in between the hole where his legs are crossed is Merlin's front feet. They're dangling just in between Ian's legs, and it
looks... a couple of long nuts.
It looks like a couple of long red nuts.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Actually, we can end the podcast a little early today if you want.
Oh.
Yeah, just because
we got to upload it.
Yeah, we have to upload it. We're recording this on the same day that we're
it will be going live.
It. So, and we don't have Dane here, so I don't want to, linger too long. I feel like we've kind of gone over everything.
Yeah. Why am I so hungry?
Yeah, I'm very hungry too.
You are too?
Yeah. I only had oats for breakfast.
Oh yeah,
like
you only had
a mush.
That's why.
But yeah, we're excited to be back, guys. We're not going to be traveling for a while now, so we're not going to miss you. We won't be away from you.
Yeah, we won't be away from you. We'll be staying still for a bit.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to I don't know, do some more fun things on the podcast, and I don't know. I think I want to have more of an emphasis. After doing a little bit more like visual gags on the podcast, I think I do want to have more of an emphasis on making it a good listen.
Yeah.
And figuring out ways to improve that side of things.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll be on that. And, thank you so much for watching, everyone.
Thanks. We'll do OMBUDSING. I know you guys get sad when we don't do OMBUDSIng.
Oh, actually, let's OMBUDS now, since we have time.
Okay, we'll do some OMBUDSIng.
Just a little bit.
Merlin is so eepy.
He's very eepy.
Oh my goodness, he's so sleepy.
The Blogcast. Welcome to the Blogcast.
That's Merlin's podcast.
We occasionally watch this guy, Sean Overton, who does what's it called? He does these vlogs about him reforesting the desert.
Oh, dust ups.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was like, I don't know who you're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do occasionally watch some dust ups.
Yeah. Okay, so one of these comments says, "Hey, iDubbbz, in your reflection vid about the first CC, you said you would save your commentary on a lot of these fights for the CC documentary, but since that's not happening anymore, can we just go ahead and see you react/commentate on the fights anyway?" Is sad face. And I think that's a good idea. That might be maybe one of the videos that I upload that's part promotion for the next one. But yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
The person who made the two dogs French kissing.
Oh yeah.
I think that's here.
It's a cat and a dog.
Yeah, cat and a dog. They said also it's catnap and dog day from the Smiling Critters.
Oh.
I'm not sure what that is, but I believe you. Your favorite Magnus says, I think the success of Aladdin really ruined Hollywood's idea of a successful animated movie. Robin Williams as the genie made the studios think you could just put or you just need to put A-list celebrities in your movie and blow half the budget on that.
I do agree with that. I think
I didn't know that's how it went.
Shit ruined.
Interesting.
Yeah, because everybody now just
Wait, so before that, it wasn't really a thing?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I think that will change.
I hope so, because
Actually,
fuck.
No, what they'll probably do is one of these movies will be like, all right, like, let's find someone who is popular online. Like, let's get fucking Kai Cenat or XQC to voice this thing.
I could see that.
And just give them a role where they're voicing, like, XQC voices a fucking rat for, 12 lines or something. An important enough character where it's not just like a
heavy cameo. I will say, though, like, after seeing the live action Lion King and the lineup that they had for that, I felt like we weren't
brutal.
Yeah, it's just
it was brutal.
Famous. Yeah.
Wait, holy shit, Ian! You went to Carlsbad High. Did you ever get a chance to skate the stair gap there? I responded to this one. The Carlsbad Gap. I did not skate it, but I walked it. Someone gave us a rejection story. Ooh, it's a long one, but not too long. For my high school sophomore year Valentine's, I had wanted to ask this girl to be mine, who I always hung out with and basically considered my girlfriend. She did not think the same, LOL.
Oh.
Few days prior to the 14th, I believed someone else asked her out for Valentine's, so I lied, saying I had a date from my college class for Valentine's.
Oh, no.
So it didn't seem like I was a loser or something. Well, she told me she was still waiting to be asked by someone and felt so dumb. Told her I canceled the other Valentine's. I asked her to be mine, which she did really like, but didn't. I think it's saying she didn't really like, but went with it anyway.
Oh, no.
Anyways, after a long and awkward night of walking out in the town, we chilled out in the back of my car listening to music where I was really savoring the moment.
Oh, no.
We somehow got on the topic of dating, and she said that if I would have asked her out, she would have been my girlfriend. Well, the genius I am decided to just ask her then and there. Man, I would as well. Do you understand why that is there was a moment,
of course, but
where she was like,
it's too bad because what's going on, I can't speak for her, but at that age, there's a lot of like, you're in your head of like, oh, this person has like really been nice and I don't want to hurt their feelings and I want to like give them a good experience, but I'm like not like you're
just not there.
You want it to be, but you can't.
Yeah.
And that's kind of I mean, I don't know about for that, but it's just sad. Like,
they say instant rejection. But I still kept trying months later until it just wasn't right for me. Two completely different people, LOL.
Yeah. No, it's sad because like you would be correct and he was correct for like assuming that, but she was definitely like, it's really unfortunate. I think appeasement is so heavily drilled into women's heads.
Yeah.
That like.
Yeah, it's just a normal part of these. It has to be a normal part of these relationships.
Yeah.
The way we have things set up.
Yeah. Sucks.
Y'all are mostly right about the Pixar post WALL-E being bad, but trust, Coco is fucking fantastic. If you guys like Pixar movies, then Coco is easily up there for me as one of the best. And I only saw it about 3 to 4 months ago and didn't watch it during all the hype.
Okay.
Still amazing.
We're going to have to watch Coco.
Someone loves your boots.
Woo! Thank you. I love them too.
Shout out Aesthetic God.
Whoa, nice.
Aesthetic God says, I love Anisa's boots.
That's what they sound like.
Jonathan Anderson says, Happy 69ington.
Woo! 69ington.
Jordan Kopp says, react to this comment, poo poo pee poo 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 poo. And the AI comment I think that Han responded with was absolutely with clapping hands.
Absolutely. Nice.
What about the title of the Boy Boy video what's the title of the Boy Boy video you're talking about? Yeah, and someone helped.
Okay.
Thank you, Gabe.
Thank you.
Purchased my CC ticket during pre-sale,
nice.
as I have done for every CC. Thank you for putting on great events. Thank you, Longlegs.
Thank you, Longlegs. Ooh, like the movie?
I guess so.
Or maybe they have long legs.
Their avatar looks a little creepy. It could be Longlegs, the movie.
Or they could be a model.
Or it could be the Longlegs from the movie.
You think it's him?
I think it's the him. I think it's the him from the movie Long-Legged. I am the foreign film, the Long-Legged. I come creepy to your house and I walk over your bed while you're sleeping.
Do you think that's what
I'm
it's
in
about?
the Long-Legged.
Do you think it's a
I think so.
You think it's a foreign
No,
film?
I'm the foreign version of the film.
That it was inspired by.
Yes, and I'm the bad dub over it.
Okay. And what happens in Long-Legged is it's just this cryptid that walks longedly over.
It's just an Arab guy.
It's just an Arab
It's just an Arab guy. He has
long limbs?
slightly longer limbs.
Like a Yemen man.
Yeah, and he just says, "I'm the Long-Legged, and people don't like me very much here in America. I don't get it why."
Oh.
But he heard early on that Americans love
long limbs.
Cryptids that enter their house and leave gifts.
Oh,
like Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy. So he was like, and maybe Leprechaun.
Easter Bunny.
Leprechaun,
Easter
Bunny. They all do that.
Actually.
And he was like, well, maybe this is how I can introduce myself to Americans.
Yeah, this is how Americans can love me despite being
And he doesn't
an
do
Arab.
anything bad.
Oh, he just walks
literally
over their bed.
He gives them money. He puts money in their wallet.
A lot?
Yes, a lot of cash, a crisp $100 bill that they didn't even have. But they never associate with him because he doesn't have any good marketers or promoters.
So what he does is, if he can clear your bed with his longed legs, he gives you $100 bill.
Yeah.
So like the promotion is like, if you have a low to the ground bed or you sleep on a floor mattress, more likely that you're going to get $100.
Yeah.
But nobody knows that because he's got
No one
very
knows
poor
that.
marketing.
Yeah, and he doesn't tell them.
And sometimes
'cause
they wake up.
His English isn't very good.
His English isn't very good, and sometimes they wake up when he's mid
doing it,
and they just see like
legging. They just see his nuts
gooch.
hanging on their fucking
gooch.
chin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're like, that was the worst thing ever. Crazy cryptid. I'm going to make a movie about this.
Crazy Arab
called
cryptid.
Long Legs.
Yeah.
Or Long-Legged.
Long-legged.
Okay, sorry guys for that tangent.
Yeah.
For Valentine's Day, I finished watching the second half of Goodfellas and the last story of Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, with a friend. I seen both movies previously. That's a good Valentine's Day treat for yourself.
People, when we were growing up, loved Sin City.
Yeah. It was cool. Who is the sexy person in it?
I've never seen it. I've only ever heard people talk about it. And
Yeah, I've only seen promo shit for it. Yeah,
but maybe Christina Aguilera. I don't know.
maybe.
Is it Christina Aguilera?
No, I think it was actually Jessica Alba.
Oh, it could have been Jessica Alba.
Yeah, I just remember like it being a cool aesthetic, where it was like all black and white.
Yeah,
except
I remember
certain
all black and
things
white.
were
Yeah.
red or whatever
Yeah.
that technique is called.
Who did that? Who was that?
I don't fucking know. Some loser, probably.
Christian Nolan.
Probably a loser like Christian Nolan.
His probably
Christopher Nolan's gay brother.
Christian Nolan.
Yeah, Crispin. How about Crispin
Oh,
Nolan?
Crispin Nolan.
Okay, we're getting off on
Sorry,
too many.
Yeah. I think we're.
I'd love to hear your thoughts. No, I'm not going to give you our thoughts on the H3 content nuke. I refuse.
We don't. Let me put it this way: we're very busy.
And yeah, if we let any of
can't-
that enter our fucking lives, we'd kill ourselves. Mick Felice says, "Holy shit, Anisa, that Candygram convo dug up trauma."
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had the same experience in school. I think I got a single Candygram ever, and we did them in middle school and high school. I actually would dread Candygram season because every time someone in one of my classes would get one, I knew it wasn't for me.
Same. I totally.
There was even a meta of getting your friends Candygrams, and I still never got any.
Same.
I wish I was on that meta.
No.
Where, like, you at least had...
Yeah. No, it was the worst because I would be in friend groups that did it for each other, and I would not. So it was like ultimate rejection.
So weird.
If only I knew how to bathe.
Yeah. It was also a little bit... I think what made it particularly hard is, like, the most, like, socially aware people... as well, who weren't awkward, already had these interpersonal skills and could communicate well, so they could and would it was less effort for them to go and talk to whoever gives the candy grams out.
It's so win more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is. It really
win
is.
More.
Because I was like, oh man, I don't even know where to get this. I like cannot fathom even getting it done in the first place.
Let me, though, cleanse your palate with a positive high school story that I have. Just so you know, I could have turned into like evil Anisa, right?
Some would argue you did.
Some would argue I did, but when I was in junior high, we had this task where we had to come up with a business and sell, at lunch, and whoever made the most money like won.
You won.
I won.
Wow.
I won. I fucked everyone up because what I did was I got a bunch of Costco muffins. I like tried to figure out what's the cheapest thing.
Wow.
So I got a bunch of Costco muffins and then I split them in half and I called it like muffin top whatever. And I would sell.
But only half of it is.
No, because the bottom, some people really like the bottom. So I would like either be like, you want the top or you want the bottom. And then I got whipping cream, which is like very cheap. And then I would get like different sauces that they could put on it, which was like very cheap again.
Right.
And I charged like way past what like it costs for these bulk muffins.
Wow.
You're already splitting them. It's like such a cute
You're
little
a
idea.
capitalist queen.
I'm a capitalist queen. I was grinding. I was like, this shit's so fucking easy. Everybody else was making pierogies and shit. I was out there. I was grinding. And
that is actually nuts because you don't come across as someone who would care about that shit at all. You got it out of your system in elementary school?
No, junior high.
Junior high.
Grade 7.
That's crazy. My brain never worked that way.
Yeah, no, I was like, this is like so easy.
Yeah. Good
Easy
for
mode.
you. That's awesome.
So I could have been that.
Yeah, you could have.
And
I'll still hear. I saw this fucking TikTok where this guy was going around man on the streeting like rich people or something. Where he's like, "How did you make your first million?" Shit like that. And he was talking to this guy who like owned laundromats or something, and he's like, "Well, I'm on my second like venture or whatever. But my first venture where I made $1 million was laundromats." And the guy asked him like, "Oh, what's your secret, or what's the secret?" And it made me so mad. Like always listening to these people talk about it,
What's your
because it's always a scheme.
I know.
It's never like, oh, hard work.
No, I wanted to fuck people over.
Yeah,
that's what the scheme is.
And he basically said like the trick is getting a warehouse.
Yeah.
And all of those like laundromats or not. It wasn't dry cleaning. It was
dry
what it was.
cleaning, yeah.
And he's like, all of those locations basically just held or were collection points, and he would take all of the stuff from those locations to a factory where they would get dry cleaned like that and sent back out or something. And I was just like, okay, fucking
some evil scheme.
Cool.
Like, how do you
Like,
reface things to make it look like you're doing
Right.
way more? That's literally what it is.
yeah.
It's like, how do you reface the front of it? I mean, I was thinking about that when we were walking past, like in the airport, when we were like walking past the rentals at Burbank, the car rentals. And I'm like, all these fuckers are the same company
Yeah. Like, how many
And it's
fucking
just a
companies do you have?
solution.
Yes.
of choice.
Different faces. It's like, who are you with? Enterprise or fucking National or Thrifty? And it's like, I have to tell you one of them?
Right,
They're
they're
all
all
the
the
same
same.
shit.
And it's so
And when you
fucked.
ask them, they're like, oh, I'm like, do you have any cars left in your fleet? And they're like, let me go talk to the thrifty guy.
Yeah, like what
It's like, okay.
it's like fucking man, why am I blanking on his name? Warhol, the Campbell soup thing, but like to
Right.
the most extreme level
Absolutely.
where it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like it's the same company, and it makes me so mad. Like I really believe that like you are, no offense if you're a millionaire, you're a dumb motherfucker. I really think that if you are, maybe that's a bit extreme.
It probably is.
But I'm going to stick to it for the effect.
Yeah.
You're a dumb motherfucker if you are a multimillionaire that is like grinding on a bunch of things, because what you've chosen to be the most important thing in your life is money, and that's it. And I think that makes you a dumb motherfucker.
Well, they would say the opposite, because they'd say, well, I came up with a scheme that allows me to spend time elsewhere.
Yeah, they can eat my fucking
Input.
chode.
Well, at least we were able to give
Maybe
them
I'm a
the two
hater.
sides of it.
No, I'm being a hater. You're
Yeah.
fine. I've met, let me put it this way. I've met a ton of unlikable
Yeah.
people
when you
that scheme like
yes, of course. And when you peel back the layers, it's like, oh, there's like so much like facade of like, oh, this is
'Cause it's
this
a
is really
choice.
what it is. Yeah,
there's just a lot of choices being
exhausting.
made. That's all I'm saying.
Rejection story from Noelle. I had a huge crush on my best female friend. We always hung out at lunch and had classes together. One night over Facebook, I asked her to be my girlfriend, and she said, "Oh, I'll think about it."
Oh,
The next day at school during second period, her friend came up to me and told me she said yes. I was so excited to see her at lunch. Then everyone knew. They all crowded us. I was so awkward and didn't even speak to her. Then I messaged her on Facebook that night and apologized, and she said, "It's okay. I'm kind of busy tonight." The next morning before school started, her friend came up to me again and said she wants to break up.
oh no.
It was weird for a while, but we were still friends and occasionally bring up our 22-hour relationship to this day. Yeah.
That's so crazy. The friend coming up and like say like
I know.
That's-
that always
that is what it is though. It's like there's always this friend that like
everyone's still working on their ability to communicate and face their fears, and there's
Yeah.
always this like little in between, whether it's notes
do it.
or friends
Yeah.
or is Dane okay? The Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies vastly surpass any of the Tom Holland
Agreed.
Spider-Man movies in pretty much every regard.
I agree with that actually.
Did Dane get bitten by a radioactive bad movie critic? I wish Dane was here. Yeah. We'll have to bring that up to him.
I do agree with you though, and I thought I was the only one. So
that was from Prolast. Shout out Prolast.
Oh, shut up, bro. Last.
Thank you. I had a crush on Ian back in the day. TBH, I'm so happy he ended up with Anisa. For some reason, it makes me feel good that he ended up with someone I relate to.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
I'm married with a baby now. Lol.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Congratulations. I love hearing when people had a crush on you. It's just so sweet. I don't know. They get it.
Yeah, they get it. Skinny nerds.
Yeah, they're hot.
The building anticipation for CC3 that my wife and I have remains number one, but the build up to episode 69, being the Valentine's Day episode, could not have culminated in a better way if you tried. Nice. That is true. Sometimes when you don't even think about it, it works.
Yeah.
Mercurial says, it's always disappointing to me when I hear that they think Pixar, when people think Pixar movies are just formulaic and overdone, because they are so clearly not.
Yeah.
Elemental tackles heavy cultural issues
Yep.
and is genuinely my favorite rom-com. That's interesting to call it a rom-com.
It's a rom-com.
That's so great.
Yeah.
When I think of rom-com, my head like stifles all of the other options.
I know. Well, a lot of people.
It has to have Adam Sandler or fucking some weirdo.
Yeah, it's a lot of people don't value animation film. Like they don't
Put
it
it
in that,
they're like,
but
that's an
yeah.
animated movie.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? That's such a general category. And by that, I mean the only good rom-com that exists.
Yeah.
Onward tackles grief in a very real way. Turning Red is basically the only movie for girls to learn about their cycle and for it to not be a point of shame. Soul is a kid's movie that literally tackles if being alive is worth it. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's big. And that the answer is complicated. Pixar doesn't make a movie unless it's for a good reason, except sometimes that reason is that they need to throw together another Cars movie to fund the real projects.
Yeah.
But you don't have to watch those. That is so well said. I mean,
I agree.
That's what we have to do in today's society, and I feel very good knowing that that is an option.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
that's how we've
Your ultimate success
learned
is
to survive.
Yeah, is I do this to pay the bills, but this is the real fucking passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, very awesome. We have another one. It's the last one, but we're running out of time, but I'm going to read it because it seems sweet. Hey, you guys, my name is Joey. I've always been a big fan. I'm an audio listener. I just wanted to come on here and talk about one of my rejection experiences that's pretty bad, but funny in hindsight. For me, it was, by the way, thank you. For the audio listeners, I'm going to give more love to the Spotify comments because I realized that Spotify is slowly improving their shit.
Yeah.
Now it's like there's a tab and a section for it. Before there wasn't even a section. I had to go individually and look. So now there's a section. So I will start integrating those comments. But thanks to all the ones who are coming over from that onto the YouTube page.
Yep.
For me, it was junior year of high school, and there is a girl in my Spanish class that I had a crush on for a little bit now, and she was super pretty and kind of popular. Me, embarrassingly being a nerd and unaware of the hierarchy, I also just happened to dabble in magic.
Nice.
Later in the year, I had gotten pretty good, and people asked me to do it in class and stuff. I don't know if he's talking about magic. Okay.
Yeah.
All the time. So that gave me the bright idea to use it as a means of getting a date for prom in my junior year. FYI, prom is typically for seniors or popular kids that had senior friends, or in this case, a date. Basically a reason to go. Since the girl I had a crush on was in my Spanish class, I emailed my Spanish teacher to finish class early so I could ask out that girl. Oh, tricky.
Wow.
That's cool.
That is
to
cool.
try to like fucking I don't know, give yourself an opportunity.
Having that type of brain at that age is cool.
Yeah,
like my brain would not.
I didn't think that way. I was like, I do not want to be seen, heard, or looked at or smelled. I then came up with an entire routine to do in front of the class. I did 3 acts, if I remember correctly.
Oh, wait, not Magic the Gathering. I think he means magic.
Actual magic. Okay. Actual magic.
Actual magic. So you're performing.
Magic is funny.
Actual magic.
Okay, like Harry Potter shit.
Yeah, okay, no.
That's awesome. This makes a lot more sense. Sorry that took so long for us to figure that out. My head was on fucking Magic the Gathering. 3 acts. The last one being the hitter. I had gotten flowers, and my teacher, man, that's also a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was going to be a cute thing that was like maybe away from the class and it was just you and her.
No, he's performing.
But this is a performance, and it's high stakes because
man.
she has to say yes or no.
I bet you, though, this guy's really gone somewhere in life. Because if you're doing that at that age.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, rejection isn't an issue
for you.
Failure isn't an issue.
Yeah. The last one being the hitter. I had gotten flowers, and my teacher even stopped class early just for me.
Oh.
Everyone was eating up the first act, so I thought to myself, this is it. Finally, it came time for me to ask her, and I go through my routine. Everyone's dialed in, and my crush is being my volunteer.
Oh.
I do it right on the money. Everyone is cheering when I reveal the cards asking her to prom while my Spanish teacher brings out flowers I got her.
Oh, this is so sweet.
I didn't think it would work, and I was right.
Oh.
Everyone loved it, but the person it was for, she rejected me and ended up at senior prom alone as a junior with no date or crowd to go with. RIP. This will forever be my worst rejection ever. Oh. Thanks for listening. Much love to you, Gunchy Wunches.
Gunchy Wunches.
Mwah.
Oh, mwah.
Man, that's crazy.
That is
and a PS. P.S. I've been out of school for years now, and anytime I meet someone I went to school with, they always say, hey, aren't you that kid that always did magic tricks? Lamau, absolute legend.
That's fucking awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jose. That, I will say, Jose, I would have thought you were fucking awesome in high school. Because, number one, the confidence.
Yeah.
Number 2, being able to do magic. Like, I always thought that was the coolest. And I was like, that is such a cool thing to just whip out whenever.
Yeah, party.
Like, yes,
trick.
A party thing. And it's something that you can, like, focus your attention on. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I should have had a magic mentor so that I could, like...
Magic mentor.
Yeah, because I didn't even have that.
No,
you know? I needed a mentor of some variety at that age to at least go in a direction. Because not having any direction, I mean, this is where you end up.
This is where you end up, you guys.
Fuck. No, I chose my direction later. It just sucks not having a direction sooner, right? Because, like, I would have I had a lot of anxiety, and I didn't really... I just, like, wasted away on, like, WoW and shit and stressed out about all sorts of other things. Whereas at least if I had, like, you know, computer programming or all of these, you know, different, like, skills that I could hone, purpose, like, it would have been better. It was a little bit film, but not so much, you know? Like, I didn't have the resources. Yeah.
And,
It sucked at the time, though. It really sucks at the time realizing, like, fucking legit... what's it called? Windows Movie Maker was like they had like a Apple version, but
I
like,
loved
that was
Windows Movie
the
Maker.
only thing, and it sucked ass.
What? It was so good.
Like the amount, but it's so much work to like learn things.
But that's why it felt good.
not to me. Like, it was just too much of a mountain to climb.
Yeah.
Imagine compared to that now. There's literally so many movie editing programs.
No, I will say, like,
You could
I went
create
from
anything.
No, yeah, I went from Windows Movie Maker to when I tried to edit one of your videos once on Premiere. I was like, this is way fucking better.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It was like
Well, don't say one of my videos. You've edited a ton of your own videos, not in Windows Movie Maker.
Premiere, the first time I tried
what did you
it,
do, Vegas?
Vegas.
Okay.
But Premiere, the
better.
first one I tried to do for you, which never went out, by the way. I've never edited one of his videos. But when I was trying to like figure out if that's something I wanted to do, I had to use Premiere because you were using
Right,
Premiere.
right. Okay, that makes sense.
And it was like way better than Vegas.
Anyway.
But yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. We love our listeners. We're going to give you listeners a lot more attention soon.
Yeah.
And man, we really need to have a guest on.
I know.
We really do.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get on it.
We're gonna eat some freaking leftover
World tacos.
Yeah, for lunch.
Hasta.
La vista.